For me, this adventure has gone on for a lifetime. It's working on a problem that's bigger than you are. It's one you can't solve in 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
I started caving in the late 60s and then got involved in organized caving in the late 70s. I definitely had been caving and surveying caves before I latched on to the idea that there was this game out there that was so closely related to the caves and described them in a manner that would appeal to a caver.
Well, I knew Will White before the game existed, and I do know that my son, Tom Brucker, spent several weeks down here with Will Crowther and his wife at the time. They were intensely looking at a cave called Bedquilt Cave, a very confusing part of the cave. We have something like 10 lineal miles of cave within 1 square mile of land. Bedquilt is one of the highest density of cave passages that you find anywhere in the whole cave system.
We're fascinated with how tightly twisted and three-dimensional Bedquilt Cave turned out to be, and it was even more tightly twisted than appears to the casual person just passing through it. It's just really fun to discover in Bedquilt Caves these places where you can squeeze up through something and end up somewhere else. It's just filled with places like that.
That, I know, is the origin of the game adventure that Will subsequently invented.
The walls really started tumbling down for me, and I really started learning a lot more when I started shifting, going into the Cave Research Foundation, learning what I learned about it, reading Rucker and Watson's The Longest Cave. They would use their compass readings and their bearings. They would start from a known position, and they would take the distance and bearing and measure from one place to another. Along the whole process, they would be taking notes about the shape of the tunnels, the shape of the size, features in the tunnel. They'd be mapping while they were going. So there was a sort of I don't call it decorative, but the artistic, atmospheric recording, along with the scientific coding of exactly where something is in relation to something else and what you need to do to get from one place to the other.
I think if they were able to compare our maps and the game, on one level it would be completely dissimilar, but on another there's a certain similarity. The general directions, east, west, north, south, up, down, all hold generally true as you go through the part that Crowther wrote.
I know others have added little touches to it now and then, but the genius was his in working out a diagram of the passageways in the Bedquilt.
I don't think it was really promoted as a caver's game, although I was really proud that he could have made adventure go any direction it wanted to, but to sit there and, I mean, what better way to take a real cave and have real north, south, east, west, up, down directions that actually were based in reality.
Mammoth Cave Ridge skirts the Houchins Valley. On the other side, beneath Flint Ridge, lies another cave network, once shrouded in mystery. Here, 40 years ago, one of the great exploits of cave exploration began. In the 1950s, a group of weekend adventurers began an intensive probe into the secrets of Flint Ridge. There had long been talk of a vast underground system that might link all the caves in the area. It began as an exciting pastime. It became a grueling obsession. Over the years, hundreds of men and women took part. There were untold yards of muddy crawlways, there were pits and crevices and mazes from which there seemed no escape. Flint Ridge developed its own colorful place names: the Corkscrew, Shower Shaft, Agony Avenue. But the cave grew until Flint Ridge alone was pushed to nearly 90 miles. And if it could be connected to Mammoth, then this was the underground Everest, by far the longest cave in the world. In the summer of 1972, a team entered Flint Ridge to probe a tantalizing passage that led toward Mammoth. It took 7 hours to reach the end of the known passage. Then they tackled what would be called the tight spot. It seemed impenetrable. But one of the team had a knack for narrow places. Pat Crowther, a computer programmer and mother of 2.
Well, it never occurred to anyone to try to go through that place. It was a crazy place to even think that you could get your body into. The tight spot was a very tiny vertical crevice out the bottom of a small indentation in the floor. And if you just casually looked down into the hole and saw that crack, you would say no one could possibly fit in there.
Somehow, Crowther squirmed through. 6 weeks later, miles beyond where anyone had gone before, a chilling but significant discovery was made. In a mud bank were the initials PH, scratched there by Pete Hansen, a long-dead tour guide. He could have come here only from the Mammoth Cave side. Carpenter Richard Zoff was in the group and recalls the impact of the discovery.
We had the feeling that we had found the passage that was going to take us into Mammoth Cave, but we hadn't done it. We had seen virtually a mile of passage, but we didn't know exactly where it went. And we plugged along, and we plodded along, and we surveyed, and we surveyed, and we surveyed.
10 days later, the group tried again, reaching what they now called Hansen's Lost River in 9 hours. Excitement and exhaustion dominated the thoughts of leader John Wilcox.
The worst thing we feared was that the passage would descend so that the water would come clear to the ceiling. And it sure looked like that was what was happening. The water was getting deeper and deeper, and the ceiling was coming down.
We're getting bent over, scrunching our backs up against the ceiling, trying to keep from getting our chests wet.
And it was getting so wet that I told the rest of the party, wait here, I'm going to go look ahead a little bit, because I know if I get completely wet, I can get out of the cave, but I wasn't sure everybody else could. Just go as far as I can, and trying very carefully not to get my chest wet, and not to put my light out and so forth.
I don't have a good sense of the time, but John only went, a few feet, went ahead for 30 seconds, and then there was a pause, and it's like, what's happening, John? And John says, the passage is opening up. And, well, should we come ahead?
From that low point, the passage just immediately opens into the huge Echo River passage. Eventually, my eyes adjusted enough, I could begin to see a wall clear across the passage, 100 feet away, perhaps. And there was a bright, shining, horizontal line along the wall, which is something that you don't see in a cave. You don't see any straight lines. And it had these vertical lines underneath it. I realized that was a handrail. We had come out on a tourist trail.
All of a sudden, John shouted, "I see a tourist trail."
And those words just electrified the party. It was kind of like someone yelling fire in a theater. Everybody just surged forward. And we realized that we had made the connection.
Achieving the dream of decades, they had connected 2 great subterranean systems. Today it is a cave with 340 miles of passageways.
It's one of these complete victories that you don't often achieve in life. Usually things are shades of gray in your professional work or your personal relations with other people or whatever. In climbing a mountain, sometimes you have a clear-cut victory. Either you reached the top or you didn't. And this was one clear-cut victory in my life where, by golly, we went in the Flint Ridge side and we came out the Mammoth Cave side.
It was a strange and lonely victory. After a grim struggle in the dark subterranean river, they emerged in Mammoth Cave at 1 a.m. Not even a watchman was there to greet them as they trudged into one of the most famous tourist landmarks underground, the Snowball Dining Room. And they would complete their historic trek with sublime ease, riding to the surface in an elevator. There was no fanfare, no waiting reporters, but they were still overjoyed.
Go like adventures, you gotta meet people, and all this. It's sort of like an adventure, big adventure. This is fun.
With hundreds of miles of caves crisscrossing an area only 7 miles wide and less than 400 feet deep, Mammoth Cave is a relatively shallow cave system. The historic tour route includes the oldest toured section of Mammoth Cave, so it's had the most visitors over the years. Using 3D laser scanning technology, caves can be mapped in great detail, creating perspectives of Mammoth Cave that have never been seen before.
You just get fascinated with the puzzle. And Mammoth is, for me, the biggest and most interesting puzzle because I've been in a lot of caves. They all ended eventually. This cave just keeps going and going and going.
Don't care, go ahead.
Okay, I first played the game when I was in Berkeley, California. I was on sabbatical there, teaching at the University of California. And they had a rule that you weren't allowed to play this adventure game during normal hours, during normal school days. And I didn't know that the rule was on, I just had heard about it a little bit. Then one day I tried to use the computer. I couldn't use it at all. It turned out this was the last day of finals. Starting the last day of finals, they took the rule off, and everybody who wanted to could play the adventure game, which promptly swamped all the computers. Well, I didn't have a lot of time to learn how to play the game, but then I went back to Amherst, Massachusetts, and there I was building a machine based on the 6800, the Motorola 6800. It turned out that there was the same adventure game available for the 6800. Now I'm building the machine, I got it to run, I had the adventure game, and I ran it. It was wonderful. I explored the caves, I drew diagrams, I remember the itty-bitty tunnels and the bitty-itty tunnels, and the itty-bitty tunnels. So I got everywhere, but I couldn't get the final one. I tried everything. I went to the chasm. I uttered the magic words, X, Y, Z, Z, Y. It was very frustrating. I couldn't do it. I did have the source code written in 6800 assembly language. And in the source code, I could see the messages that came out when you won. One of the messages was, you found the magic tunnel that had 14 dwarves and the golden whatevers and all these things that you were seeking or that you had looked for before. They were all stashed in this tunnel. So I then tried to disassemble the code to see how I could get to the place that generated that text, because then I would have won.
Cheating.
That's cheating. Well, I give up. I never succeeded exactly. I did find a place where I think there was a dead end, that if you did something, the dead end would lift and you could walk into this cave. And that's as far as I got. The number of man hours put in this, I hate to tell you, but if I had to put those man hours into something fruitful, the world would be a better place. That's how I'd like to conclude my interview.
Okay.
How is that?
That's excellent.
These heaters just aren't good enough. Tried everything out except my stupid shoes. And this is from Thursday.
Well, were they on the floor though?
Yeah, no heat down there.
Joyce asked me this morning. She said,
Hot air rises.
"You're a physicist now, you know."
So when
Let's put it this way, right? Nobody has done anything or said anything to me that I considered superbly unreasonable. Yep. Sometimes it took some digging to find out what the reason was. You know, like the whole one of like, you know, you should go to the 50th. No, wait, don't go to the 50th in film thing. Didn't make any sense to me until I found out, and then it made sense. It was that was it. But that's, you know, there's been no case where I've said like somebody's just being mean.
Now you have plenty of across the valley and over to the other side is where the visitor center. But they kept all these springs, you know. So I finally realized that wasn't going to produce enough water. Let's go to Spring B. What's the spring called again? I believe it's Adwell Spring. We saw the map, look at that. Did Adwell used to own this land too? Or? I'll bet you. Yeah, Adwell Cemetery. Oh. So they still own the property next to Hamilton Valley? According to this map that I saw. I think they do, but I don't know. You know, last I heard they do, but I wouldn't know. When you feel the right elbow, you feel it kind of goes up, but there's a dimple right in the very end of the elbow. So I don't know if I just skipped it or what I've done. Well, there's a nerve that runs out through the funny bone, and so I guess that's Adwell Spring right there. Yes, that Adwell.
It's the remainder of the spring house.
All right. Okay, no big deal, but
Anytime you want to record with conversation, we'll shut up. If that's what you wish.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me figure out what makes the most sense here.
Well, what makes the most sense?
Let me
After all,
yeah.
The lantern goes.
game.
This is where it starts.
Yeah. All right.
This is where you find.
It's part of the game.
Nothing to get. Okay.
See, what I like is that 1 million people have stood here and they don't even know it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Now when Peter's gonna get a still, there ought to be a picture of you and the still with the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
In the game, what happens is you get hopelessly lost trying to find this place, right? So you get stupidly lost, and so what ends up happening is you start out right here. This is where you start out right here.
Okay.
And you have a little house. In the little house is a lamp, some food, some keys. And what you do is you follow this stream. You go down the stream and eventually get to a slit. And you're thwarted. You don't know what to do. But you have these keys, you don't know why. And when you wander around crazily, you end up in a depression. And in the depression is a 3x3 grate with a lock.
You don't have to wander around crazily from the slit. You can type the command, go downstream.
Oh yeah, but nobody ever does.
No, they wander around in the forest as well.
Like real cavers.
Right.
Yeah. Where's this cave?
And I am shooting in the way that no real cinematographer likes to shoot. I'm letting the thing do all the choosing for me. But they've gotten so good now that 9 times out of 10, it's going to choose the best light. But like there's camera shake from me, but I have a program that removes it completely. Okay, and then that bit. I guess I'll go stand on it, right? We'll get a shot of me standing on it.
Yeah, whatever you like.
A shot of me standing on it would be a good.
Okay. Very much. I'm doing here.
Right, which is excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent bonus. Okay.
Well, there are many springs in the Haney limestone, so they're all called Haney Springs, but there is no one Haney Spring. Yep.
And my memory is failing. So that I could lubricate it because it's a little stiff. Yeah, of course I forgot.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, so now we don't have a lock?
No, I have the lock. Oh, the lock back up, but the lock is stiff. You're not going to lock it behind the door.
You may not be able to get out. So we forgot to lube it. Bracket.
Yeah.
There is a 4-inch slot.
There is a place for
It's all a bonus from here. It's like I said. Peter, did you get a shot of just the? Did you?
It's all set. Tasty food. So whatever's tasty to you. Yeah. Might be a candy bar. Might be.
You might be able to get, company sponsorship and put Dingy Moore out there.
That's the problem with putting out tasty food.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we could have put out pumpkin pie, and a little ice cream. But again, yes.
So it's really flat.
Whoa! That was close. I went on a trip to Rockwell. None of those were even in the book. We didn't do anything like big controversial. We just went to survey too. Yeah. Tulip pie. That sucker's been around a while. So this tree is not part of the story?
No. Well, there's trees. There's forests.
But I mean, I've never seen a forest tulip this big. I mean, that sucker is old.
Yeah.
But it's such an interesting thing. You think Will would have included it? Yep. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what cavers do with cars. Get lost in them.
Oh, it's not 30 years old, but
But it's over a decade old, yeah. So then I got kind of tripped, see. Otherwise, he was going to do something horrible to you. You see. Downstream from the ferry, south side, Texas. Yeah, it's in the chunk of Joppa Ridge. Leaking area? Well, what? It's in between, it's north side and in between Lee Cave and Mammoth. So the idea was you follow this raging air and then you go down there and you find the missing piece of, yeah. And instead all we've gotten is pits, awful crawlways, nasty little canyons and things like that. But that's just liquid. It's everything. It's from base level, like the shafts are in yesterday has a vertical extent of like over 140 feet. Yeah. Oh, it's way down underneath. It's on the flank of Deer Park Hollow. Yes. I've been out in Deer Park Hollow.
No.
Watch out these holes here and these sawbriars.
Kind of location. And, but there's no evidence of a spring now. But it does appear that, we've got the sinks. And the slits, if all this debris were not here, the actual slits down in the floor of the stream bed. Now, I'm not going to clear all that out. We're talking years of flood debris.
Yeah. Might be a problem. This is a real place.
Yes.
It really is a forest.
Yeah. I did dig that out a little bit once, and you can squeeze down in about a body length,
Okay.
and then you can't go anywhere.
Looks a little unstable.
Yeah, it is.
Now, this looks like sandstone.
Yeah, sandstone caps. Yeah, sure does.
So we're looking at
Contact.
the Big Clifty here.
Huh?
Big Clifty, because
Probably.
we're
yeah.
hanging up there. It has to be Big Clifty.
Yeah.
So that's funny. The water should be coming to the surface here. Actually, what it's doing is it's going through the fractured Big Clifty into the gherkin. Yes, into the gherkin. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Native Americans mined sulfates, and then early Americans, European Americans, and African Americans mined saltpeter. Okay. And then during a turtle, it'll be easier for you if you don't.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I don't capture my own stuff.
You won't want to put your gloves in there when we get in the cave.
Of course not.
Dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
At least, because in a restaurant, the tip is always included in the bill, and it's in Europe. But I know several people who do wild food tours and
dug it down under. course, to understand the difference. But then of course you didn't need a fence. Get a picture.
So that's the cave.
That's the cave.
This is the cave. The gate was embedded in concrete, in an old concrete form that came out from the entrance a little ways, and all of that has since been removed simply because it created a real problem. The cave was constantly being buried, essentially, and because it didn't allow adequate water flow during flood conditions. And so, in an effort to restore the cave to its normal breathing cycle, as it were, that was all removed, and there's now a gate further in.
Right.
I don't know, just maybe down in a little ways.
Yeah, we're probably going. Yeah, we'll go ahead.
Want to give him the lantern?
Oh, he'll get it. We'll do that next. Okay. All right. Hey, Dave's gone.
What, probably wouldn't want to eat it and go in.
Don't be far behind.
Hmm?
I say, don't be far behind. I'm in a wind tunnel at this point.
Okay, why don't you face in, I guess, but make it so we can see both.
Yep.
Yeah, hold it up. Hold it up to the left. You can't see the lantern. Okay. Then have your water bag on the right. Great.
Yeah, nice colorful stuff. Your arm with the lantern can be more, there, that's good.
Great. That's good.
All right.
Okay, I got one.
All right. If you want to move towards it a little bit. Okay. All right. And it's going off.
I'm just...
Yep, battery.
Power.
You're all about the battery.
Yep.
We're going to come back with me with 97% battery.
I hope. Yeah. Let me go upstream of you while you're laying in the water.
I'm being careful.
Lantern's right behind your
Yep.
left foot.
I can feel the guy. I keep saying yep, and that's not me. That's not me saying shut up or I don't want to hear it. That's me acknowledging that I'm hearing you. And I'm not stuck in a cave tunnel thinking about it.
Very nice. It even swings. I like the dripping icicles. It's very nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Holding lantern or hanging lantern?
No, you could
Leave it hanging.
Well, I don't know. You could
Just
have it
the-
in your hand, actually, wouldn't you? I think it'd look better if you had it in your hand a little bit.
Coming out?
It's whatever Jason thinks is
Yep.
coming out. Yeah. If you just finished your trip.
Yep. Do your best. Let's see. Let's see how.
Oh, you'll have to come forward a bit.
Too dark?
Yeah. I kind of need a strobe. Do this right.
More?
I think that's okay. And, yeah, go a little bit to your right. A little to your right, and a little bit out. Okay, can you turn on your headlight? Oh, it is. Your light's kind of glowing.
Say on or off?
I think he asked for it on, which you already have, so it's cool.
Have it on.
Away the stuff, do a little bit more crawling, we'll be in the debris chamber.
Okay.
You'll probably want to get a shot of the debris chamber. That's where the, and you can get a look into the awkward sloping canyon at the same time. Then we'll film again in the bird chamber. Clipped his pelican case, instead of to his harness, he clipped it to a belt loop on his pants. And the belt loop gave out and the whole thing fell. And it fell about, 200 meters. And so he gets down there and opens up the pelican case, and of course the camera was completely trashed. It looked just like a camera, but the electronics and everything inside were complete toast.
Yes.
And then when we got back to the States, he had bought it at Ritz Camera.
Right. Come in the same way around the corner here, or over the top of the little part, or what?
Oh, sorry. Around the corner to the right. Yeah, the way that we.
The actual path that we followed. Right. Yep.
All right.
Should he crank up his carbide more?
No, he's fine.
Okay, he's having a view.
Yep.
I don't think can you see anything?
Yep. All right.
Okay.
And then.
Yeah, okay. Go for it, Bruce. Yeah, this looks great. Okay. Go for it.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Jason, you want me to get the guys behind us too?
You know, you might as well.
Okay. Come on through, guys.
Up to them. I know they got the packs.
That's okay.
So
That's okay.
Okay.
Go for it.
You'll have to be the lighting.
I'm lighting it.
Either way works.
I've got it.
Either way works. Make your best judgment. Don't do it.
Oh, I kind of like that, Dave. Yeah, let's the light, Peter. Because it'll adjust, and this way we have one shot with a lot of light. He can always dim it down if he wishes. Now you got to go through the narrow spot to the right.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, sorry. Otherwise the sequence will look bogus. I ain't going through that place. Take the regular route. Okay. You want me shooting me? Okay. That's fine. 3 people's enough. He's got that nice red suit. My boring blue thing hardly shows up anymore. Yeah. We'll just wait till he goes out of sight. You tell me when that is. Yep. It's amazing what a long, straight shot this is. That's good. Let's call it. Okay.
You can come over, Bruce. We'll call it again. Yeah. Just come on over. Just come on over. I'm gonna just videotape you coming over just to take it. But don't worry about it. Okay. All right. So now we know that takes that bit. We know that takes that bit.
Can you grab this scope and put it in the...
Okay. You can turn on you turn on the lights.
Okay.
Did you get what you need?
I'm getting it now too. Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. Documentary film.
Okay.
It's all about these different shots. You want shots of guys setting up their stuff.
Flash.
See, in a regular film, if you show people doing stuff, it's and people do things like walk in front of the camera, it ruins the shot. Here, it just adds more dimensionality. It makes you feel what you should feel, which is cramped.
Oh, isn't that cramped?
It's lovely.
Well, you're just used to this, Bruce. A lot of people would say, this is a lot like being under a house and it's kind of creepy.
Live most of my life.
Oh no, houses are much more creepy.
Yeah, I think so. More critters.
More animals.
Yeah.
Yucky stuff.
So in the adventure game, was there like a troll or a dragon? Or
There's a dwarf.
There are
dwarves.
with their axe.
Dwarves throw axes. At least until you retrieve them.
Yeah, and then he doesn't throw it to you anymore.
Then he doesn't throw it.
At dwarf, right?
Oh yes, you can.
You can throw axe.
Yes, you can throw axe. You can kill the dwarf, and he will disappear in a puff of smoke.
But yeah, there's no dragon in Adventure.
Yeah, there is. There's a dragon.
There is.
Yeah,
there is.
And you have to kill the dragon. The thing.
You have to kill the
Completely
dragon.
forgot.
Okay. With the footage, in other words, like I have lots of pre-reel, so we're not worried about that. But we are going to want to turn the lights off, or else you get that. You just get that.
Now, do you want your light down there pointed at the ground? Or?
No, that's fine. That's just to provide enough fill.
Okay.
So that like if you look at my shot right now, it looks like a dark cave.
Very true.
Which is, as long as you're still with the light or whatever works for you, I don't know.
Kill the light, Pete.
Okay, I'm aiming away.
There we go. As long as he's aiming away, we're fine.
Yeah.
And what I want to do, let's try to get this. I want it so that if I do this, I came forward. There. Get a little forward. I want this shot, and he's like that. So if I'm like this, and there. All right, go ahead.
If you'd like me to hold that while it comes through again or something, I can do that.
Yeah, no, I'm just at this point, just getting.
It's over to Rick, and he can flash onto it. See, while we're waiting, can I get a shot of you?
No, please go ahead and.
Now, where do you
down next to the XYZ? Rick, if you can aim over towards him.
Yeah, that's where it is. Looking at it or at you or what? And
go down. Yeah, look at it. That's good.
Okay.
Whatever you think's good. There goes. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and for me, if you could look down and then just aim your light directly into the lens of my camera.
Okay.
Great.
I need to do one.
You'll probably want to do a shot eventually with going on.
Yep.
That's one of the passages, one of the alternative passages, and then there's another one over there. There's actually one down there that doesn't go. When the water is high enough, that's where the water drains from here. So if the water manages to back up and actually come in here from the entrance, it then goes down there.
I see. Okay. That's an awesome canyon in the ceiling there. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and up there is the maze of twisted little passages. I've always called it the pirate's maze. Because that's where you find the pirate's treasure. The pirate's chest is up there. Somewhere.
Wonderful. Have you got enough light to film it?
For this initial shot, but we're gonna do it again.
He's eating tasty food. In the game
Yeah.
Actually, you're eating some of the tasty food.
Tasty food. Yeah. Tasty food.
So,
There you go.
let's get that.
I wonder what's up there. I don't know.
Pirate gold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, the pirate's chest is above and behind you, Rick.
Okay.
I thought about doing the climb up, but you know, I didn't want to have you all break my fall.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good
I
idea.
have climbed down from top,
The problem is you hurt the camera here.
which is why I know about this climb over where I am.
I see. Okay.
This is the route, but the move to get up there is a little tricky.
Yeah. We don't want to convert the purpose of the trip.
Yeah.
And here's where you learn how to rescue a guy.
Yeah.
Here's how you learn how to take all the pieces of a guy out so we don't pollute the cave. No, I don't think so. We'll do. There's no reason to do unnecessary risk. There's no reason.
So is it true that no one's ever really gotten seriously hurt in Mammoth Cave
Not on a CRF trip.
on this CRF trip?
People actually hurt themselves.
Lots of injuries there, yeah.
Yeah, I've carried a lady out in shock and hypothermic before. Off Wild Cave.
I'm sure
Yeah.
with that many tourists, people will get a heart attack or something.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's happened.
The odds are.
Employees died of heart attacks.
It's not the cave's fault.
No, it's not.
Hey, Peter, look up again.
Wow, what's up there? Is that this D maze?
Yes, the maze of twisted little passages all alike.
Is up there?
It's up there?
Oh.
Am I supposed to be in this? Something?
Either that or I've really set my camera wrong.
Okay, so I should get out and eat some lunch or something. More realistic.
Delicious food.
Well, I figure this is, and this is what the park will want for their raw footage. Here,
Have some.
caver eating food in cave, okay? Go home. We're done here.
Product placement. Eating over bags so crumbs don't fall on the ground.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. To have the shot. It is tough in video to, like you start to just, well, okay, all of my rules are off on this, right?
Most actors, they just wear frames with no glasses.
Exactly. But I am doing a shot inside a very unusual.
Anyway, so if you told it, I didn't know it was going to be
Yeah.
photographed. If you do it again, I'll take my glasses off. I think it's better.
If you'd like, I think the fact that someone's wearing glasses while they're doing it is pretty cool.
If I don't wear my glasses, I don't get very far.
So this is going to be a good shot then.
So, Arch Carter, evidence of Aboriginal cavers?
We're not sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Inconclusive.
Okay. So if we were to find stroke marks or something, that would be significant.
Yeah, but we haven't seen any stuff on it. We've looked. We especially looked where we thought we saw possible evidence of the sorting and gathering.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. See, when you do something like that, the autofocus freaks because you go from 0 to light, and it's going like, "What's that beam? It must be a person's face. It's what is it?" And I'm just setting it manually, and so he'll walk out of focus. Okay. All right.
Where's my light?
I might as well turn it off. Be totally. All right, go ahead.
Basically, the cave is just an obstacle thing.
A lot of climbing and tunnelling and squeezing and all that kind of stuff.
Crawling, and, yeah. So I mean, once in a while you get to walk like a little ways, and then okay, that's over.
That sounds like a California cave.
Yeah, is that right?
Like Wilburn is what, 21 miles, and there's.
All right, go ahead.
Look the other way, guys.
Oh.
If you can, be sure to look a little bit to the left and the right so you shine a glow on them. That really should be. Okay, can we do it once more? If you don't, yeah, just let me. Okay. And go ahead. All right, I'm sorry. All right, so if you go, yeah, if you just go down like 5 feet and then turn around and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know, we're seeing way out to survey. It wasn't in the city. There we go. So they,
ready? Yep.
If you leave it, it's in the city.
Yeah.
Model it in what you got it there.
But you know, the conventional.
How far did they
Okay.
No, no.
There's Benjamin Franklin on Bigler with.
Turn it. Eigenmann, I'm sorry, not Heidegger. Eigenmann. And he was a fish biologist, and he wrote a tremendous book on like the northern cave fish and so forth. I've got a copy of it. And so Eigenmann was back here, and and you know, I was in here. I thought I got a picture of that signature, and I didn't. So that's kind of sorry.
When was that? The Pike Chapman.
1909, I believe.
Pike Chapman entrance in Salts. Was it ever? I mean, it's not open anymore. Was it ever actually open? Did they ever get it successful?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that, I mean, it was a pit entrance. If it was used for anything, it was to lower liquor and things like that down for, yeah. Cars and then.
I never read about that.
Stay inside, it's good to tell you all about it. You know, it's salt scope history all along. Yeah. A lot easier than doing research.
There's a famous IF game called 935, and 935 is a game where you wake up in your bed and it's 9:35 and you're late, and so you're late for work, and so you can get dressed, try to figure out where your keys are, and go. And if you go, it says, oh, there's the work where you're from, and you go there. And if you go in there and you go into your cubicle, it turns out that you murdered the guy who has this job, and then fell asleep in his bed, buried him under the bed, and went to work. And they're like, can you believe it? He killed somebody, and then he just took up the guy's work. Well, if you start the next game, and you go and you say, look under bed, it goes, oh, there's the body of the guy you murdered. You know, it was always there. If you'd looked under the bed, it would have been, oh, there's the body of the guy you murdered. So that's considered to be one of the canonical works, because people were like, ugh.
Yeah.
Anything with a random murder in it is always good.
Woke up, got out of bed, threw my hand.
Forgot about the guy I murdered and went off to work.
Yeah. Had a smoke and went into a dream.
Is this stable? Because you don't have a leg this way. If you extend it this way, it's going to be a little more vertical. It just looks bad.
Okay.
Just start recording now, because why not?
Okay, should we come in now?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, roll 'em. We need to have a little board with hashers on it that you click together.
Going down the steps.
Okay.
That got it?
All right, cut.
You want Bruce to come in?
Yep, so as soon as
Okay, you
you're...
have to be still. Okay.
All right, go ahead. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
So that's what they look like.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now you can come around and look at the bat.
No, it's okay. I just, I'm near it.
Where's
That's all I'm going to use.
oh, here's telephoto.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a wide angle, me and the bat.
Okay. Now look at the bat instead of looking into the camera. And maybe come around this way. Yeah. Come around and yeah, there you go. Come around so you do a profile.
Yeah.
You can get in a little closer than that.
No, that's all I need. Like what we've just shot now, that's all I need.
Okay.
You'll find a few frames in there.
Up, down, left, right. So depending, some rooms there's 5, 6 ways to go. Sometimes there's 2. So you have to try them all first of all to see if you can go that way. And then if you can, it'll give you exactly the same phrase. And then basically you make a map. Let's start back.
No, it's blinking because I think there's a sucky connection on it.
Okay. Normally, first time you do it, you get hopelessly lost, and you just can't find your way back out.
Maybe, would people be able to tell what it is unless you...
No, I've got to do no, there'll be an insert shot, which is what I'm doing. And his light is more than sufficient.
More than adequate.
That's where, like, knowing the shortcuts, like, you could say Y2, and then suddenly be here and not have to do this whole long sequence to get here.
Anything to say, Dave?
I love this game.
So, there you go. Okay. Let's see. How do I look? I look like... Can I get everyone behind me? Say hello.
Hello.
That's it. There we go. Excellent. That's just what we need. And of course my little thing is just freaking out.
I'll bet.
Alright. Now that is a turn.
But in the game, it's a great deal more complicated.
Well, the place I went to with Will in '73 was a maze of canyons all alike, and I mean it was just like spaghetti.
Yeah.
And they were all about a foot wide or less, it seemed, and about 5 to 3 feet tall, and they went over pits. And
Yeah. That sounds like the area up there.
Aha. I can believe that that's where we went. But the nice thing about CRF is that trip report is recoverable.
Well,
and it'll say where we went.
it should be. It depends on exactly when you did it,
Yeah.
because some of the trip reports have been lost.
Well, I guess I can check with Elizabeth on that.
Yeah. We have recovered and digitized all of the reports available to us, but some are missing, unfortunately.
One thing that happened on the trip that was just astounding was that there was a fissure and this unbelievable roar of water coming out of it. It was tight. It was so tight that, you couldn't get into it with, like your jeans on and stuff. So I stripped down. I've never done this since, but just down to my skivvies, and I did put my boots on because it was full of popcorn. And I did get through it. And I got up into there, and it was a 1 foot high waterfall about 8 inches wide. But the acoustics made it sound like a thundering, roaring, cataract. And you just had to know what it was. So we didn't even map into that piece of crap. It was so awful.
Shoot, if you went to the effort, they could at least hand you a tape through it.
Well, it was...
still wasn't working.
Oh, it was awful. Painful. Boy, these are...